Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing today? I'm excited to be here today. I cannot wait to get started. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can get started with government contracting. So, if you're new to government contracting, welcome. Glad to have you here. While you're popping on, why don't you guys let me know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer. So, tell us what you're going to offer, what you're selling, what you're doing in the private sector, whether it's commercial, residential, or corporate. Let us know what you have going on in your business. All right. And we're going to get started at the top of the hour. So we have James here. So welcome, welcome. We have Kevin. Kevin says in the building. Welcome, Kevin. Ariel says hi. So I see you guys. There's a lot of you here. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from, what you offer, and definitely let us know your name if your screen name is something different, so we can know who we're talking to. Okay. So we have Misha Harris. Hey, Ashley. Welcome, welcome. Trey from San Antonio. D'Angelo. Hey, I remember you, D'Angelo. I remember that name. I think we spoke before. Is that Ferris? Welcome, welcome. So come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer. That way, we can always use some of what you're offering to the government. I like to take it and sometimes use it as examples. So let us know who you are, where you're joining from, what you're offering. Kevin is in the house. Gerard, I may have talked to Gerard before. I'm not sure. Welcome, welcome from Atlanta. Shamika, welcome from Arlington. This may be Shamika that was in my boot camp, possibly. Dwayne is here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm about to head that way here soon. How cool. Who else we have here? Oh, it's going fast. Never mind. So I don't know who that is, but they're in Texas. Welcome. Leela, cleaning business. What else? Someone's doing sanitation. Angie, welcome, welcome. Ashley, all right. Leah, Kevin. Kim from Houston, welcome, welcome. So just giving you guys a shout out. We have Sean from North Carolina. He does cement. Mario, I may remember that. I can't remember. Welcome, welcome. Michelle Boyd, I think I remember speaking with you. Alabama. Oh, Misha's in Frisco, right up the road. Well, not right up the road, but less than an hour away. Welcome, welcome. Patrick. James is doing electrical small business work. Cool, cool. All right. And grateful one, I don't remember your name, but you're doing pallets. So, yep, I think we talked before. All right, it's the top of the hour. Let's dive into it. So, today we're going to be talking about how you can get started with government contracting. I always like to pop on a little bit early, getting my notes together here, and just welcome everyone here for taking time out to come join us. We have Wes. I think I may have spoken to Wes before as well. So welcome, welcome. So this is a great opportunity for us to connect. And we're going to be talking about some of the basic things you need to have in place to become a government contractor. So here's the deal. Two things. One, if you're going to take notes, make sure you get whatever note-taking device, pencil, paper, whatever you're going to use, because I'm going to give you some steps, some things step by step, which is why I have notes, because I want to give it to you in order of what you're going to need to do to get started. So if you're taking notes, you're going to want to write these things down. And if you're not taking notes and you're just getting started, you're going to want to write these things down. Okay. So make sure you're prepared to do that. Of course, you'll always have access to the replay here, and you can always come back and watch it later as well. The other thing is, I like to tell you sometimes, you know the drill. I like to say, because today is going to be off the chain. I haven't did a live in months. So I'm really, really excited to be back doing those again for you guys. So here we go. So I want you to raise your right hand with me. This is my right hand. I may look left, but it's the right hand. So take your right hand, raise it up really, really high so we can get ready to get started. Put it across your waist and buckle up and get ready for the ride. So here we go. So today we're talking about how to get started with government contracting. Now, before I dive into this, I want you guys to let me know in the chat, and it's going to be a 1 in the chat if you're new to government contracting. So I'll know who I'm talking to, how much detail I may want to put on various points to make sure you guys get what you need so that you can leave here and take action today. So if you're new to government contracting, pop a one in the chat for me right now. Let me know who I'm talking to. All right. All right. So we see some ones coming in. Great, great. Ashley, Mario, Ariel, Hip Hop Hammett, Misha. Is that Chan? Michelle. Okay, so a lot of you guys are just getting started. Samsung, welcome. I don't remember seeing you here. All right, so here we go. First thing I want to cover is exactly what you're going to need to have in place to even be considered for a government contract. If you're new to government contracting, maybe you don't even have a business started yet. That's cool, because I'm going to tell you right now what you need to have in place before the government will even look at you as a viable business to be considered for a government contract. And so if you're already set up, you feel you have everything set up, at least listen to the list, make sure you have everything in place. Just in case you don't, you can definitely go back and make it happen. All right, so here we go. The first thing is you want to make sure you have a business entity. I'm getting a lot of questions from you guys in the community saying, hey, I don't have a business. Will the government do work with me? Or I'm just getting started. I'm using my social security number. I'm a sole proprietor. Will the government do work with me? So the first thing you want to have in place is a business structure, an entity structure, whether it's a LLC, a S corp, a corporation, however, a LP, whatever you decide to set up based on your specific. I'm getting tongue tied. Specific need. Just look at that and see, what's best for you. The other question I get asked a lot of times is, which entity structure should I have? I don't know, because I don't know all of your background. I don't know, your tax obligations and, all that type of stuff. And so I always tell you, if you're unsure of what entity structure you should start with, check with your CPA or an attorney, someone that knows a little bit more about you personally, your business, your tax obligations, what tax structures you need to have in place to protect your assets and things like that. That's where you will decide which structure is best for you. So I can't just tell you, oh yeah, sure, go get an LLC. I mean, an LLC will work, but I don't know if it'll provide the protection that you need. So if you're unsure of what entity structure you should have, definitely check with someone that's doing your taxes. They would know what's a good structure for you. Okay, so it's very, very important. And if you, went out and just set up a structure, and at that point you were not sure as to which structure is best for you, you can always go back and, still have that conversation with them to make sure you have the right entity structure for you. Okay, so very, very important. The next thing, once you know your entity structure, you're going to, set that up, right? So you set up your entity structure, and doing that, now you have a company name as well, right? You know what you're going to call your business. What name will it have? After that, you're going to go get your tax ID number. We also call it your EIN number, your employer identification number. You'll go to the IRS to get that number. It's free to get the number. You can go to irs.gov, search, fill out the form, take care of that, and get your tax ID number. What that does is, one, it attaches to your entity structure. Two, it has it to where you don't have to use your social security number. So I don't encourage anyone to use their social security number, because when you do that, you do understand you're going to be filling out documents. You're going to be, signing up online at various places. You're going to be applying for credit and different things, or whatever you're doing, filling out maybe a W-2 or something like that, or a I-9 form, anything like that. When you're filling out all that stuff, you're going to have to put in your social security number if you're a sole proprietor, or if you're an entity structure, you'll put in your tax ID number. And preferably, we want to use the tax ID number, right? So we don't want to have to give out our personal information like that. The third thing is, once you have your entity structure, you have your tax ID number. The third thing is, you need to have a bank account, a business bank account. Okay. So you're going to take the information that you have along with your formation documents, and then you will open up your business bank account. Okay. And the reason you're going to do that, one, is because you want to keep everything separate. You want to keep your personal things separate from your business things. Also, it'll help you when it's time to file taxes, to have everything separate. You don't want to commingle your funds, your business money with your personal money. So definitely make sure you open up a business bank account. Where do you go open up a business bank account? You choose the bank that works for you. There are still some banks out there that have free banking. So if that's the route you want to go, you just find the bank that works for you. But I will say, in whatever bank you decide to go with, just think about the relationship that you want to build with the banker, the business banker. What do you see in the future for your business? Do you plan to have to take out any loans or anything like that, or get business credit and you plan to get it through your bank? You want to start building that relationship as well. So think about that as you go into opening up your business bank account, and with who. Okay. So after you do that, you also want to make sure, and you'll have this beforehand, but you want to make sure you have a physical mailing address. A lot of times, with a lot of government documents and things that you're going to be doing, they're going to want a physical address, not a P.O. box. There's a difference. Okay. So you want to make sure you have a physical address. You also want to make sure you have an email address for your business and your business phone number. Okay. So email address, business phone number. Excuse me. Now, yes, you can use a Gmail email, but think about it like this: which look more professional? Um, if I had my name at gmail.com, or if I have my business, it could be Felicia at FeliciaStreeter.com, or my hello at FeliciaStreeter.com. So anytime you have your business extension versus a Gmail, a Yahoo, I think they still use AOL, something like that, you want to make sure it's a business email address. Okay. Now, after you have all these foundational things in place, now we're ready to start moving into preparing for government contracting. So the next step is you're going to decide on your NAICS codes. Okay. And I also have videos already on the channel where I walk you through, I talk about the NAICS codes, how to go do those searches and things like that. So I'm not going to get into that here today, but know that I do have videos here on the channel where I reference that and I talk about that and I walk you through those searches. Okay. And then also in my accelerator program, I even walk you through in more detail of selecting your NAICS codes, and I help you in doing that. Okay. So I'm just going to look back at my chat real quick just to give you guys an example. So we have someone here doing custom pallets. So you're going to go do and haul off. So you're going to go do a search, keyword search for both of those things. Any terms or phrases that you would use that would identify custom pallets as well as haul off. You're going to do searches for those, and then you'll use those NAICS codes that come up for you. Okay. I think I saw someone say cleaning, janitorial, same thing. Um, just depending on what type of cleaning you're doing. If you're doing window cleaning, whatever, commercial cleaning, final clean, uh, construction cleaning. So if you're helping on construction projects, cleaning up, doing those final cleans, different things like that, you're going to use those keyword searches as well. Someone here says electrical. So if you're going to do electrical work, you can search that and find the NAICS codes for that. You may also want to use construction as one of your NAICS codes as well. You just have to read it because it'll give you a description. So make sure you read it and see if that also entails what you would be doing. Okay. One more. Let's see what else we got in here. I'm scrolling back to see who else. Cement. So we have a lot of people in the construction and cleaning. You'll do those keyword searches for that to see what NAICS codes you should use. We have someone here, Kim, doing food services. So, you may search catering, food service, food prep, if you're going to even provide food itself. And the end user cook it, things like that. You'll do those type of searches to come up with your NAICS code. So transportation, same thing. Transportation, what type of transportation and what you're going to transport would also entail the NAICS code that you would use. Okay. So I hope that gives you a great idea on the NAICS codes and how you're going to search for those NAICS codes. Okay. Along with your NAICS codes, you'll also select your other SIC codes, PSC codes, and things like that. All of that's explained. Okay, so you're going to have your codes. So after your codes, the next thing is you're going to apply for your DUNS number. Okay, your DUNS number. Now, let me say this. When you apply for your DUNS number, it is free. There's no cost. When you go to apply for your DUNS number, they may offer you some other things, some other products and services that it is a cost to it, but you don't need that in order to get your DUNS number for government contracting. To get your DUNS number for government contracting, it is free. Okay. So you're with me on that. Type a yes in the chat if you're feeling me on that. You got me. DUNS number is free. Because I'm going to tell you, you may get some emails from them at offering you some things that you would pay for, and or saying, hey, you need this or that, or you should get this, to help your business grow, blah blah blah. You don't need those things. None of it. The only thing you want to do is get your DUNS number, and it is free to get your DUNS number. So make sure you hear me on that, because I get asked that question all the time. And every time I talk about DUNS numbers, I tell you it's free, but I still get asked that question. So I want to make sure you're clear that there's no cost associated with getting your DUNS number. Let's recap this really quickly in case you missed one of the points, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. Are you ready? Here we go. So I'm going to read my notes. Exactly what you'll need to get started with government contracting. Here we go. You need your business entity structure. You need your tax ID number. You want to have your business bank account. You want to have a physical mailing address, not a PO box. You want to have an email address for your business, a phone number for your business. You want to select all of the codes that you need, your NAICS codes, SIC, all of those. Select your codes, and then you're going to get your DUNS number. All right. Are we all on the same page? Yes. Same page. All right. Moving on to the next point. All right. So here we go. The next thing I want to talk about, this is the most important piece as you're getting started to become a government contractor and start working with the government, that you want to have in place. All right. Where you're at right now, this is going to be the most important piece. Everything I just told you, you're going to need to already have in place before you can take this next step. Okay. So did you hear me? So the things I just gave you the list before, you can't skip any of that and then think you're going to move on to this next thing I'm getting ready to tell you. You have to have these things in place first. Okay. Everything I teach, even in my accelerator program, even in the sequencing formula, it's a product I have. Everything is step by step, and everything we go from start to finish, step by step. So even the training and what I'm sharing with you guys here today is step by step. You need one thing before you can move on to the next thing. Okay. Because if you try to skip it and you go to the next thing, it's just going to kick you back to where you were before and the things you left open that you did not complete. Okay. So we can't have any gaps there. So here's the most important thing you want to have in place, and it is required before you are awarded a contract with the federal government. And that is, you want to have an active SAM registration. So that means your system for award management is what it's called, but we use the acronym SAM registration, or SAMs. Okay. So you want to make sure you have that in place if your desire is to become a federal government contractor. So if you plan to do work with the federal government, you must have an active profile with the federal government. Not that it's pending, not that it's submitted, not that they're reviewing it. It has to be active. Okay. Now, if you say, okay, that's cool, but I also want to do state, city, local, county government as well, then you're going to have to register with those agencies as well. Now, here's the thing. Understand me on this, because I get asked this all the time. You know how you have your state, within your state, you have a lot of different counties, and within each county, you have a lot of different cities, right? Yes, you're feeling me on that? All right, here we go. So with that being said, that means if you select, let's say we're here in Texas, and you say, oh, I want to do work in Houston, I want to do work in San Antonio, I want to do work in Austin. Guess what? Those are different cities, and you're going to have to register with each city. If you select multiple counties that you want to do work with, Ellis, Denton, Dallas, Tarrant, whatever the counties are, then you have to register with those counties. Now, sometimes you may find smaller cities where they will partner with other small cities in their area and use a system together. Sometimes that happens. That's cool. And you'll just have to register for that system for those various cities. So you have to do the work and figure out and find out how that works for your local area if you want to do work with your local government. Okay. If you're in Michigan, you have Wayne County, um, Clinton. I can't remember all the counties there. I know you got Wayne County, Oakland County. Um, is it Saginaw County? I can't remember, but the various counties there, same thing as apply. Those of you that were in Alabama, North Carolina, wherever you said you were, same thing apply. You have to apply within your state, within the county, within the cities, however you decide you want to do work. Okay. So I hope you guys are following me. Yes. So Denise must be in Michigan, Macomb County. Yep, you're right. Okay. All right. Also, if you know, one of your approaches is going to be that you're going to be a subcontractor, which means you're going to do work up under a prime contractor. So that also means now you have to also register with prime contractors. Now, some small prime contractors may not have the same systems in place as the larger prime contractors, but I can tell you most large prime contractors are going to have some type of vendor registration, a process that you'll have to go through before you can do work with them, similar to the SAM registration, not as intensive, but they will have a process of vetting their subcontractors, making sure they're viable companies and real companies. They can do the work, the whole nine. So here's what I'm saying. If you know who your customer is going to be, you need to understand how you can make them your customer, how they will provide you or give you projects, and what that will entail. What type of registration processes do they have in place? And then you have to make sure you've met those things. Okay. So you can't wait until you have an opportunity before you to say, oh, I'm just going to bid this contract and they're going to award it to you. It's not going to happen like that. If they have some type of registration process you have to go through prior to being awarded a contract. It is up to you to find out what those requirements are. Okay. So I can't stress that enough. It is up to you to figure out, find out, do the research, have those conversations, and figure that out. Okay. So you can't come, to me or anyone else and say, hey, I have this opportunity before me. I haven't registered yet. The bid is due in 5 days and I need to register with this company. A lot of companies don't move that fast. I don't have my shirt on today. You can see this one, but this one just says government. Can you see my shirt? It says Government Contractor Accelerator, which is my accelerator program. But I also have a t-shirt that I sell on my website. And this is the mentality of these prime contractors and these contracting officers and the contracting team. I talk to them on a regular basis, and the mindset, they don't say this, but in essence, this is what they mean. And you guys have to grasp this and understand that you have to be prepared. So I have a t-shirt on my website that's for sale. And even as you begin to become a contractor and you start subbing out work yourself, you're going to feel this and understand what we're saying. But the t-shirt says, your lack of preparation is not my emergency. Okay. So if you wait to the last minute and think someone's going to jump through hoops and shortcuts and do all these various different things to get you set up and make it happen for you because you were not prepared, just let me tell you, they are not. Okay. So remember, your lack of preparation is not my emergency. That is their mentality. So you have to be prepared. Okay. All right. Moving on. Next, Before I move on, tell me in the comments if you know who your customer is. Are you, or are, if you have multiples, but are you already registered to do work with your customer? Yes or no? No or yes? Let me know in the comments. Yes or no? No or yes? Thunder, if I'm saying that right, you guys, some of you guys are popping in questions. We're going to open it up for Q&A at the end. So you're going to have to pop those back in for me at the end, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's going to scroll. Okay, so a lot of you guys say, well, we're kind of no, yes, a couple yeses, more no's. You don't know. Okay. We have some yeses. So definitely if you're saying yes, you should be looking at opportunities to bid at this point. You should be bidding contracts. All right, cool. Great, great, great. All right, so number 3, let's move on. Now I want to share with you 3 spaces you can start looking for contracting opportunities. All right, remember, you've done the foundation, which was the first thing we covered. You've done that, right? You've gotten registered wherever you need to be registered. You found out who's your customer. The next thing is to start looking for opportunities. All right, opportunities and leads. It'll be great if you find opportunities that you can bid right away. But sometimes what you're going to find is you'll find opportunities, start building relationships that are leads right now, but will turn into contracting opportunities in the near future. You want them both. Okay. Here we go. If you're registered and you have an active registration with SAM, that's a great place to start looking for opportunities. A lot of people are leaving money on the table because they don't know how to use the system effectively to find opportunities, no matter what stage they're in, no matter what their approach is going to be, which I talk a lot about approach in my free webinar, 3 Secrets to Win Government Contracts. But if you don't know those things and you don't know how to go into that SAM registration, or not SAM registration, I'm sorry, into the beta.sam.gov website, where they have the section where they talk about the opportunities out for bid, past opportunities been awarded. If you don't know how to go into that system and look for opportunities, you're definitely leaving money on the table. So that's one place you can go for sure and start looking for opportunities. The next thing is, once you know who's your customer, you can go to your agency website because they post opportunities on their website. They also talk about events and things like that on their websites where you can go out, network with them, learn about opportunities that way. And then as well with your prime contractors. You need to meet your prime contractors, have conversations with them. Prime contractors also have, um, excuse me, what do they call it? Meet and greets. That's what they call it, meet and greets. Okay. Excuse me. So you have 3 places you can start looking for opportunities today. If you're at that place where you're ready to start looking, the beta site, your agency site, and then prime contractors. And they have websites as well. They go out networking. So you have 3 places to do that as well. Okay. Now, with where you are right now, where do you think you will start looking for opportunities to bid? Let us know in the chat. Are you going to go to the beta.sam.gov website? Will you go to your agency website, or will you look to prime contractors? Let us know in the chat. Where are you going to go to start looking for opportunities? Okay, so we got a lot of the SAMs. Beta, one person said all. That's cool. Somebody said beta is a mess when searching for opportunities. You must not be using the search features. Mario says all of the above. Denise says all. Okay, great. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Definitely you can use them all. That's cool. Especially once you know who's your customer, and I like them all. I do. All right, cool. So let's move on to number 4. Let's talk about your next best step to becoming a federal government contractor. All right. Now, I've given you some things here already to help you get started. If you're just starting out, go back and see what deficiencies you may have, whatever gaps you may have as far as what we covered here today, and start filling those gaps. Okay. You have to have everything in place to be a viable company for the government to look at you as far as awarding you contracts. So you want to make sure you have everything in place. Your T's crossed, your I's dotted. Okay. All right. Now, the goal here is to leave you with something or information, should say, where after you leave here today, you can go take the next step as far as getting started with government contracting, becoming a government contractor. Okay. So I want you to hear me on this as we talk about these next steps and then decide what your best next step will be for you. Okay. After that, where are we at? 229. After that, we'll open it up for Q&A and I'll answer a few questions for you guys, okay? If you have any questions. Deal? All right, here we go. If you're just getting started, right? You're at the very beginning stage of getting started with becoming a government contractor. I want you to get started with the first phase of what I talked about today and mentioned here. So, and that's really phase 1. And I call that your position. You want to position first. So you have to get positioned in the marketplace as a government contractor before you can move on to the next step. So remember where I gave you, what was it? 7 different things you needed to have in place. If you're just getting started, you need to go back to that list and start there. Okay. And you know where you're at. So you'll make that decision. Now, if you've already done phase 1 of positioning, you have all those 7 things in place, you're cool with your next codes, you have all the next codes that apply to what you're doing. And let me just say, if you only have one, I encourage you to go back and make sure you're not missing any next codes. And again, in other videos on the channel, I get more into the next codes and why you need to have them and what's the benefit and blah, blah, blah. Not going to get into that here, but definitely you can go search my channel and type in NAICS codes and it'll pop up for you. Okay. So second stage, if you've already finished phase 1, which is position, and this is also coming from my accelerator program, just so you know, but it's more, of course, detailed, more in depth, and I give you all of the steps within the steps in the program. But I wanted to give you guys something to get started with nevertheless. All right. So if you're done with phase 1, and you have everything done, not half of it, but everything done, then it's time for you to start looking for opportunities. It's time for you to start looking for opportunities. You can start with the 3 places I mentioned earlier, because now what you're starting to do is you're getting ready to start performing. That's phase 2 of the accelerator program, perform. So you're getting prepared to start performing, meaning doing work, building past performance and all of that, and making money too, right? And you can start by picking, 3 customers, 3 ways you're going to look for opportunities. Okay. So if that's where you're at, that's where you can start next. That's your best next step. Okay. Now, if you've done those 2, you have the foundation set, you're finished with phase 1 positioning, you know who's your customer, you know where to go to find the opportunities. Phase 2, perform. Then the next thing you want to do is move into phase 3, which is bid. It's time to start finding opportunities and actually bidding on contracts. All right. That's where you want to be. Now, my question to you, here's the question. I want you to let me know in the chat. Are you ready to start bidding contracts? Yes or no? No or yes? Let me know. And if you don't know, you can say you don't know. But let us know in the chat. Are you ready to start bidding contracts? So we have some yeses, From Chan, beautiful queen says no. Ashley says yes. Okay. Now, if you said yes, where are you going to start looking for opportunities at? If you said no, what do you need to do to get ready to start bidding contracts? And you do know, once you start bidding contracts, you need to know how to price. You need to know how to write your proposal, right? Yes, yes, you need to know that, okay? Okay, some says I need to know phase one, identify my three customers. Okay, okay. So great, great. So in essence, you guys have some things no matter where you're at in the process as to what you should do next. Now, I didn't talk about certifications here. We all know we want to apply for all the certifications for which we qualify, but you do know that's a process, right? You apply and then you have to wait. Sometimes it's 90 days or more right now with everything that's going on. But I do want you to know that while you're applying for certification, it does not mean you can't be bidding opportunities and making money in your business. So that's why I didn't include it here as a step within itself. But we definitely talk about that in phase one positioning inside the accelerator program. Okay. All right. So you're letting me know if you're ready to start bidding or not. And we're going to go ahead and open it up for Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and start typing in your questions, and I'll take about 5 minutes and answer some of your questions for you if you have any questions. And hopefully it'll help you, as far as what's your next step, since we're talking about how to, get started with becoming a government contractor, because we don't want you to leave here stuck if you are, and you have me before you now. So you might as well ask any questions that you have on the topic. Okay. All right, so I'm waiting on questions. I got a couple popping in. All right, all right. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. They're coming. They're coming. All right. So yeah, if you have a question, go ahead and pop your question in as right now, and then I'm going to answer your questions. All right. Another thing, if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. So glad to have you here in the community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not, so that you can get subscribed to the channel, and then two, turn on the notification bell so that when I go live, you'll get notified. You won't miss out, as well as when I drop new videos, which they are coming back starting next week. So I'm excited about that. On Mondays, we'll be dropping new videos each week, except for holidays, of course. But we'll be dropping new videos. So I'm excited to be getting back to that as well. I've taken a lot of time to revamp my Contractor's Edge Bootcamp, and it is now the Government Contractor Accelerator program. So new and improved content. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm excited about the results students are getting already. And so I do see some questions here about having a conversation with me and things like that. If you have a question, pop it here in the chat. I don't do the one-on-one consulting or anything like that, where people say, hey, I just want to ask you a couple questions. When I do these type of things here, this is where you can ask me questions that you have about government contracting. So don't be shy. Type them in the chat. Let's talk about it. And if you're interested in getting more help, more support from me, learning about how to become a government contractor, and have me there with you step by step as you go through the phases of positioning, performing, profit, partner, and pace as you go through the government contracting process. Definitely check out the accelerator program, and it's on my website. You can go to feliciastreeter.com, and at the top you'll see accelerator, and I'll even type it in the chat for you. You can even type in governmentcontractoraccelerator.com, and it'll come up for you. And that is how I can help you. So if that's your question, or hey, how can you help me, or how can I be your mentor, go there. All the details are there right there for you. How to get started is right there. Once you sign up, you put in all your information, you'll create your password, you'll have immediate access to the on-demand training videos, And then you'll also get an email from me with an agreement letting you know what to expect from me and the program, as well as what I expect from you, because I want everybody to get the results that they desire. So we want to make sure we're on the same page. Once you do that, you'll get your welcome email with the links to the Zoom calls that we do, that are group calls, as well as the Facebook group. We're at both places. You can always ask any questions that you have. And also there, I'll review, your capability statement, go over your bids with you, talk about your proposals, solicitations, making sure you understand the requirements and things like that. What else? I feel I'm missing something. Oh, I also give you a sample proposal template that you can use. So I give you templates for quite a few things so that you're not starting from scratch. I even share the proposal template that I use to win multi-million dollar contracts. So I do share that template with you guys as well inside the accelerator. All right. Again, I put the link up here. You can go to accelerator. I'm sorry, you can go to government contractor, excuse me, governmentcontractoraccelerator.com, or you can go to my website to find all the details and get started ASAP. All right, here we go. Questions. Let me go look and see. So Mario says, since I have no certs, probably talking about certifications, and I'm an African American, I will apply for minority owned and still be it correct? That is correct. Yes. Thunder, do you have a beginner class or videos to watch? So yes and yes. There's a wealth of information here on the YouTube channel, so you can always come back and binge watch my YouTube channel just like you do Netflix. So that's cool. Also, I have the accelerator program where I work with you, whether you're just getting started or you're ready to bid. Okay. The focus of the program is to teach you how to bid government contracts and write your proposal. We also cover the foundational things because those are important too. And so that's why we go through the 5 phases of positioning, perform, profit, partner, and pace. Everything you need to go from where you are and get to the finish line of bidding government contracts. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Is that a question? Let me see. All right. Michelle says, in transportation, would customers, as it relates to government contracts, be those in need of transportation services? Could be. You're doing transportation. Example, I don't know what you're transporting, but sometimes on construction projects, they need transportation services. So sometimes, and this is for everyone, your NAICS code, what you offer, what you provide could sometimes be wrapped up in a larger contract. So that's something else you'll have to be mindful of and look into. And that's something we talk about in the accelerator program as well. Um, Not only maybe, you'll find a contract that says transportation, right? But within a construction project, within a real estate project, it could be some transportation involved. So you never know. You have to think outside the box and, just look at any and all opportunities. Okay. Also, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up while we're here. I'm still going through the chat right now, answering questions. Ooh, it scrolled on me. Okay, hold on. But definitely give us a thumbs up. So Liz says, oh, it says I have a question. Okay. I have a question on your program. After the program, so she's referring to the accelerator program. So after the accelerator program is done, are we able to still be part of some group of graduates that still be able to interact with you? Or is it just the weeks and then you're on your own? So yes, so here it is. The accelerator program is what it is. Okay. If you decide after the fact you want to be a part of the alumni, you have the option to do that. It is an additional cost for that, so we don't include that cost or anything in the accelerator program. I think it's at a price point where it's lower than what it could be. I can tell you that, but it's at a price point to where it makes sense for what it is, but not to include everything. Sometimes I do offer lifetime access to the program. And so we do have some students in there that have lifetime access. And so when that comes open for enrollment, if you're already in it and you wanted to bump up to lifetime access, you can. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. So I don't lump it all together all the time, just, so people have the option to do what they feel they want to do at that point. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Uh, okay. A Queen Lee, I think that's your name, says, I saw an item in Sam and emailed the person indicated. How do I follow up with the call? The number shown does not make sense. So if the number doesn't make sense, if it's not the right number, then that means you have to do the research and find the phone number if you want to give them a call. You're just going to have to figure it out, or they may not have updated their phone number. Okay. So you'll just have to research, do a Google search, see if it'll come up. So Chan says, how do new businesses get net 30 from manufacturers? One, you can ask for net 30. And each manufacturer may be different in what they offer to begin with. So that's a hard question to really answer outside of saying you would ask for that. It could depend on credit. It could depend on how much, the invoice is that you're asking for net 30 on. I mean, there's so many different variables to that outside of just saying you would have to talk to them individually and see, what type of things they have in place. You could have a manufacturer that you're working with that don't do net 30. I don't know. So you'd have to check with them on that one. That's kind of like an open-ended question. And because it would be very specific to, so many singular things. Do you think there's something? So it says Bumper says, I'm in the automotive repair services. Do you think that's something I might want to look into it for the government grants? So let me just tell you guys, grants and contracts are two different things. So if you really mean as far as government contracts, I say yes, check it out. You guys have to be aware and think outside the box, okay? You got to think outside the box, or either you're going to have to do the research. But I know just from personal experience that military, think about the military. We're not even going to talk about the various government agencies and the cars that they drive. Police is owned by the city, county, state, right? They have police cars, which means they're automobiles, which means they need to be repaired. Military, you have military vehicles that have to be repaired all the time. So I don't know what type of vehicles you work on, but as far as automotive, the answer would be yes. Okay. Okay, we're gonna answer a couple more and then we're gonna wrap this on up. Let's see. So Larry's question basically is asking, can I help with getting certified? Yes, we talk about that in phase 1 of the Government Contractor Accelerator program on applying for your certification. So yes, can definitely help you there. Kevin's asking how does he locate prime contractors for logistics? You can do that the ways I mentioned earlier. One would be on the beta.sam.gov website, and then also going out networking, hanging out where they're at. CA says, do I need a cage code? Yes, you'll get your cage code when your SAM registration become active. In that email where they're telling you your profile is now active, they will assign you a cage code. Okay. if I understand this one. It's original. So, a Queen Lee is asking, and Sam, I think this is what you're asking. So I'm not going to read it how you wrote it, but basically this is what you're saying. In the SAM registration, they'll have something labeled original response date. And so they're asking, does that mean that's the last date to submit a response to the sources sought inquiry? It says original response date. So possibly if that's all there, sometimes they may have a new response date. So you'd have to look at it and see. Okay, because sometimes they'll change the response date. It could be updated, changed, right? So you'll have to look and see what it says. Oop, it scrolled again. Hold on. So Veronica says, "How do I make my business stand out to get awarded a contract?" I don't know. I don't even know what you offer. So, I mean, there's various things you can do to stand out, but we try to see in our business what makes us different and we go from that. And so I don't know what you offer, what your business is, what makes you different to answer that question for you. So that's, we'd have to have a conversation for me to know something about your business to tell you what that would be. But this is something we talk about because the students is going to put this inside their capability statement for sure. For example, if you think about it, the things that make me stand out, because a lot of times people say, well, what makes your business different? So this is what I usually say. Maybe this will help you. So for me, one of the things is I say, I took my business from 23,000 to over 7 million in 18 months. That makes me different. How many people can say that? Right? That's the first thing. Second thing, I'm able to bond companies up to 50 million. How many companies can say that? That's small business. Let's see, what else can I say? I could talk about how I won the Small Business of the Year award, Diversity Small Business of the Year. And I think sometimes I talk about that. How I was on the list with Irvin Magic Johnson and Oprah Winfrey. How many people can say that? Right. So you got to figure out what makes you different. Now, winning the awards is subjective or whatever, right? As to why I would tell you that, right? But when I say I took my company from here to there, people understand that. So if they're just getting started and they want to know how to take their business to the next level, they know I know how to do that because I just told you what I did, right? What else did I say? Oh, bonding. Um, if you're in the arena where your company has to have bonding or you know anything about bonding, and I say I have 50 million in bonding, trust me, people are going to pay attention because a lot of people can't get bonding. And if they have bonding, they don't have that much. So, what makes you different? That's what you would talk about and make you stand out. Okay. All right. Let's see. We have quite a bit more. So if I don't answer them all, I'm definitely gonna maybe I'll do some social media post on the rest of them that way, and we'll kind of talk about them, okay? Because I know I've kept you guys probably long enough, huh? Um, okay, so Mito Al, I guess I'm a new business owner of IT and cybersecurity company. I'm struggling about writing proposals. Do you offer a help? Okay, do you offer help or consulting on writing proposals? I guess the answer is yes. Inside the accelerator program, my government contractor accelerator program, phase 3, bid, how to price, how to write your proposal. We cover that. Yes. And I even give you a template that you can use. Okay. Okay, Liz says she's going to be joining us in the next couple of weeks. Awesome. Look forward to having you join us. We got a lot of thank yous here. Let's see. Mhm. Richard, great question here. Richard says, is it okay to have a one page or two-page capability statement? One page is best. One page is best. And I can probably, and let me just say this, if you're just getting started, there's no reason to have 2 pages anyway. So one page should be enough. All right, awesome. So again, I thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you have any questions afterwards, you can definitely type them in the comments after this video populates, and I'll answer them in social media post or future YouTube live or video. So definitely you can put your questions there. Also, if you need support and you'd like my help, you can definitely check out the Government Contractor Accelerator program at governmentcontractoraccelerator.com. Also, if you're new to the channel, again, welcome. There's a wealth of information here on the channel. Binge watch it just like you do Netflix, and a lot of your general questions will be answered here on the channel. But of course, if you want it step by step and you want my support where we can talk like this, but you're on video, I'm on video, and get help that way, check out the Accelerator program. Don't forget, new videos will be dropping every week. So I'm excited about that, to get back to that. I think I've covered everything. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And if you would please give this video a thumbs up. One last ask. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. We always go almost an hour when I do a live because I like to give you the content and then answer some questions for you guys. But do something different today. Share this video out with maybe one or two people that you know in the industry. Know that with government contracting, there's enough to go around. No one person or 5 people can do all of the work of what the government is putting out for small businesses. All right. So have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll see you guys right back here real soon. Bye for now.